extreme northern Mexico, if you didn't know that. So, I was born in Monterrey, Nuevo León. That is the northern part of Mexico, what is now the geopolitical boundary of Mexico. He's using big words. Wow, and he teaches kindergarten? How does he do it? All right, so today we're going to learn about that. And even though it's got the word dead in it, we are not celebrating death. And even though we have skulls here, we are not venerating death. What we're celebrating is life. The life we shared with someone we love so much that is no longer with us physically, but still lives in our heart, right? Mm-hmm. And I brought a friend over. If you want to move your chair over to a shadier spot, I would do it. I would loan you my hat, but no, man. I already got my cocoa burn from standing in the sun all day. All right, so I brought a friend with me to tell a little story, to tell you about Day of the Dead in poetry, a little rhyme. Where is he? He's over here. I would like for you to meet Moises Huerto, but he goes by Mo Huerto. Huerto. You guys got it. Huerto means dead. All right, so Mo Huerto. It's a pun. Yeah, a pun is a play on words. Blah blah blah. All right, so are you ready? Mm-hmm. He's gonna ask you a question. Ready? Do you know a muertito? Yeah, you. Do you know a muertito? Who's lost? Who's perdido? That you'd like to bring back to party contigo? Oh, but Dia de los Muertos, it's so complicated that you just can't relate it to the way you live now. But I know the secrets. I know the hows. I know the whys. And though they are muertos, these spirits will cause you no fright. Because they aren't really dead, you see. As long as we remember, they still live aquí.
Yes.
So listen to me and I'll make you real wise. You'll learn all the things these visitations comprise. There's fire and wind. There's flower and water. Don't forget cempasúchil, that marigold flower.
Yes.
So now that you know all the things we require, roll up their sleeves. We'll be here for about another 19 minutes or so for a while. But of one thing, I want you to be clear, that once we are done, the partitos will visit and we'll party right here.
Woo!
Que vivan los muertos!
Yeah! Woohoo!
I can tell we got a party crowd right here. Hey, so, this is a traditional ofrenda, and we're going to talk about the four elements. I mentioned, Mo Huerto mentioned four things that are part of an ofrenda. So raise a silent hand, don't yell it out. Don't make me use my teacher voice, because I will. All right. What's one of the four things that are part of the ofrenda? Yes, tell me one. Wind, that's right. What's another thing that is part of an ofrenda? So, yes, ma'am. Marigolds, okay, but let's use the real Spanish word, cempasúchil. Yes, what's the other?
Water.
Water, yeah, so we have wind, we have water, what else do we have? You gotta raise the silent hand, señora. Yes. Oh, yeah, fire, yeah, lumbre las velas. And what's the last thing, sir? Earth. All right, he's paying attention. Where's your partner? He's paying attention. He's a we're gonna find out if he's really a keeper later, though. We're gonna have a little psychological test. All right, all right, yeah. Earth, wind, fire. Does that make you want to sing? Do you remember? I like that song. All right, earth, wind, fire, and water. And those four elements are represented here. So I'm gonna ask you, smart people, what do you think represents water on this ofrenda? You raise the silent hand again. Yes, sir.
Blue.
The blue, that's a good guess, but no, not the blue. A silent hand. So look at the ofrenda. Yes, sir. What was it? You want another chance?
Water.
The water represents water. Yeah, that was kind of a gimme, right? What's another thing? What represents fire? Yes, sir. Thank you.
The candles?
The candles, yes. And one other thing. Take a look at this special flower that we call cempasúchil, not marigold, por favor. If I hold it up in the sky, doesn't it look like the sun? The big ball of fire that gives us life? Yeah, so cempasúchil. Cempasúchil is a compound word It comes from two words in Nahuatl. Nahuatl is what you call Aztec, but a couple of million people still speak Nahuatl. Cempasúchil comes from the word Cempawali, which means 20, and Xochitl, which means flower. Cempasúchil. Cempasúchil, right? And that is the Mexican Spanish word for calendula, because that's another Spanish word for it. Calendula, Cempasúchil. So do you know anybody named Xochitl? Yeah, that means flower. Do you know anybody named Citlali? That means star. Do you know anybody named Maria? Oh, that's just a common name. As a matter of fact, it's so common that it's even in my name. I'm Jose de Jesus Maria de la Torre Gonzalez. Yeah, and it all fits on my license. Wow, I live in Rhode Island now. They're crazy. All right, so we have the things that what represents the earth. Yes, Maria. The food, yeah, the bounty of the earth. This represents earth. And what represents wind? Let's let somebody else. Maria says, I know, teacher, I want to be the teacher. Do I get a sticker? What represents the flags? Yes, we call them papel picado. Yeah, because you can't see wind, but you can see what it does, right? So, let me help it. All right. So you can't see wind, but you can see what it does. So yes, the papel picado, the pendants, the flags represent the wind, and so they actually represent 4 ancient deities as well. The flags represent the deity Hecat, the spirit of the wind. The fire is represented by Huehueteo, the first god, the old god, kind of like me, the old guy. And then water is Tlaloc, the deity of rain. And what else? Earth. You probably know her. Maybe you know her as Coatlicue, the serpent's skirt. Or maybe you know her as Tonantzin. Do meaning our, Nantzin meaning mother, our mother. Or maybe you know her as La Virgen Guadalupe, La Virgen Morena, right? That's the earth goddess. So we have those 4 elements which represent 4 deities. So there's also a lot of Christian kind of representations. You see this cross down here?
Yes.
Don't be fooled. So when the Spanish got here and they saw all these crosses all over the place, they thought, the Spanish said, Dios mío, estos ya son cristianos, sois cristianos. You know how they talk so funny? I didn't use a TH, I wish. Cielos míos. That sounds better, right? All right. So, but they were wrong. This is not a Christian cross. Esta es una brújula. This is a Spanish test. What is a brújula? It's a compass. The 4 directions: north, south, east, and west. As a matter of fact, what we're going to do right now, if you're willing and able, is that we're going to stand up and we're going to call the 5 directions. Wait, didn't he just say that there are 4 directions? The 5 directions. That's not a new boy band, you know, the 5 directions. That would be a good name, right? The 5 directions. All right. So I'm good. If you're willing and able, I'm going to take my shell and we're gonna call to the east where the sun comes up, and then we're gonna turn to the left because why? Because our heart is in the left, right? And we're gonna face the west side where I grew up because I'm a West Sider. How many West Siders we got here? All right. And that's where the best pan dulce is, by the way. And then we're gonna make a long turn to the left, to the north. Gringolandia, as I would call it when I was a little boy, because they didn't allow Mexicans to live there. Can you believe that? Read your deeds. Wow, it's true. So north, right? And then another turn to the south, where they make the best tamales. Rudy's Tamales has the best tamales.
Yeah.
Although I was just told that HEB has the best tamales. I don't know. It sounds like a taste comparison test to me. I'll be happy to participate. All right, so if you're ready and willing and able, I'm gonna stand up and face the east. Yes, sir. No. So here I go. are going to be able to invite anybody that you want to invite to join us today. Just like I've invited 3 people. I've invited Jesus, my dad, Leonor, my mom, and Juanita, my maternal grandmother, to come to this event with me. All right. So, ¿cómo estás, Crystal?
Yes.
Wow.
I know, it's like I have to
She
go
took off her
see you.
glasses. She knows me when I was a good person. All right, I'm still a good person. Anyway, so we have 3 levels here on this ofrenda. This is the kind of traditional ofrenda. We have the inframundo, the underworld, but it's not a bad place. It's just where you go to die. When you die, we have the earthly level, which is where we put all the good stuff from the earth that we're offering. And we have the celestial level. This is the way I do it. You don't have to do it that way. Other people don't do it that way. But that's where I'd like to think that my parents are, right? Up in the celestial level. So yeah, they're in the heavens. Isn't that nice? It's a nice thought. They might have ended up in Miglan, and Miglan's not a bad place. It's just where you go, and I may end up in Miglan. Maybe I'll end up there because I did some bad things. Who knows? I didn't do bad things, Chris. They're all good things. All right, so I want to tell you that this is a party. Dia de los Muertos, even though it's got the word dead in it, it's not about death, it's about celebrating life. So when you're getting ready for a party, what is one of the first things you do? An important thing that you do? Oh, thank you for raising a silent hand. Yes, what's one thing?
You get dressed.
You get dressed. Well, certainly you don't want to walk around naked when your grandmother's going to convince you. Yes, that's one thing. But before you get dressed, what do you do before you? Yes, Maria. She raised a silent hand. You clean. That's right. Why do you clean? Because you don't want your abuelita Juanita to come in from the other side to come see you and find you with her dirty calzones underneath your couch. Yeah. She's watching. So you clean. And then you decorate, right?
Yes.
And you plan, yes. And you make food. Do you remember when you were a kid and you were going to have a birthday party and your mom would ask you, Mija, salud. Mija, if you were Mexican, Mija, ¿qué quieres para el pobre? Right? And what would you say? You would say the food that you like to eat, right? Now, if you weren't, maybe your mom said, sweetie, what would you like for your party? Well, that's it, you're the gringo, right? That's okay. I don't hold it against you. All right. So, but the food that you like to eat. So when you invite these people, you're going to have the food that they like to eat. So on here, I have the food that my parents like to eat. So I have tamales. They looked really good today at 7 in the morning when we got here. Now they're a little cansaditos. Maybe I'll buy some more tomorrow. I know, I will buy some more tomorrow. And my mom liked empanadas de piña. Who's ever had empanadas de piña? They're so good. I have some here. And my dad, he liked marranitos. Who's ever eaten a marranito?
Yes.
Ay, qué rico los marranitos. No one makes them as good as the panaderias in the west side. ¿Dónde está mi marrano? Crystal, maybe this is relevant. I don't know if it's relevant. I don't see a ring on your finger.
No.
So, okay, well, I'm just telling you, this is why. So did you hear about the new Marranito dating app? Social media is so crazy nowadays. So there's a new dating app that lets you know whether the person is a swipe left or a swipe right. Could you explain to me what swipe left means? Oh,
Hence why there's no
she's,
ring.
She's pretending I don't. So swipe left is because you don't want them.
Oh.
They're not worth it. Swipe right, they're a keeper. All right. So this is Maria, where you're gonna find out. All right. She's laughing. It's too late. I'm trying to come here. That's it. All right. So in the Marranito dating app, it asked you, what's the first part of a Marranito that you eat? So I saw a lot of hands go up when you said, oh, I've eaten a Marranito. So don't be shy. Raise a silent hand. What is the first part that you eat? The head. Sir, I would have swiped left. She's a very attractive woman, but I would have swiped left. She's kind of a cannibal, just so you know. All right. Oh. And so Crystal, she just had a realization. Maybe that's what's going on. Crystal, what's the first part of a marranito that you eat? The head. Oh, dale. All right. Who eats a different part of the marranito? What do you eat first? The tail. Swipe left. She's kind of a pervert. What's the first part that you eat? The feet. That's a swipe right person. You know why? She's smart. She knows that if you eat the feet, it can't run away from you. And you can go back and eat it. I personally eat the ears first. I'm a swipe right kind of guy. And I'm waiting for that third wife to swipe right on me. Swipe right because why? Because then they can't hear you coming sneaking out. ¿Cómo estás, Dolores? Dolores, ¿verdad? Dora, sorry, Dora. What? Oh, wow, this is exciting for me. All right, so I came here from Rhode Island, and look, I know people here. I feel good. All right, so that obviously that was just a joke. But it makes you think about the food that are important to people, right? And when I was a little boy, that was one of the things that I loved to eat. And my dad would buy them for me. And so I have marranitos right there because they remind me of my father, right? And so the ofrendas tells two stories. The first story is about the confluence, big word, the confluence of two cultures, right? So the European culture and the indigenous culture. When the Spanish got here, I already told you, they thought, oh my God, they know Jesus. But no, it was different. But they also some other things that were very similar. Like in the fall, just like around this time, November 1, November 2nd, Day of the Dead, Day of All Souls Day and All Saints Day, they were honoring the dead, right? And one of the ways they would do it was by making bread, not really bread, forming out of amaranth. Amaranth is a grain, a sacred grain, amaranth and honey, and forming different gods, right? And then they would break them apart and share them with everybody. Does that sound like something maybe you've done in church on a Sunday? Yeah. You break bread, right? So the Catholic priest said, wow, this is something very similar to what we do, but they're honoring the wrong gods. Well, they're not honoring the God, so they banned amaranth. They said you can no longer use amaranth. So the ofrenda is also a story of resistance and perseverance, because the indigenous people said, okay, we can't use amaranth. We're going to use your wheat, because there was no wheat here before the Europeans got here, and we're going to make bread. And so on Day of the Dead, they make pan de muerto. That means dead bread. But they don't make it with dead people, just so you know, in case you were worried. We're not zombies, we're not cannibals, unlike people who eat the head. All right, so, and look at it. Do you see the circle in the middle, the ball in the middle? Do you see the crosses? This is Mictlantecutli, the Lord of the Underworld. So right underneath the Spaniards' noses, it's our God, Mictlantecutli, and his wife, Mictecasihuatl. And you probably have seen her here at Dia de los Muertos Fest, dressed up with a fancy hat and a beautiful dress, looking all dressed to the nines, right? That's Mictecasihuatl, the mistress of the underworld, and Mictlantecutli, the Lord of the underworld. Talk about other gods later if you want to hear about it. If not, it's okay. You can tell a lot about it. So that's the marriage of the two cultures. That's the one story. The other story is the story of the people you're inviting. I told you a little bit about Jesus and what they like to eat, right? Let me tell you a little bit more about their stories. Did I tell you I'm from Monterrey? And do you know what they say about us? Did we already talk about this? What do they say about people from Monterrey? ¿Qué dicen de los regiomontanos? Que son codos. Do you know what that means? I mean, a codo is an elbow, and you know why they say we're codos? They say we are so tight-fisted with our money that you gotta hit our elbow. Para que soltemos la lana. I have a funny joke about regios in the bathroom, but this is maybe it's for that's a separate side conversation. All right, so yes, I'm a regio. So this will become relevant in a little while. So my parents were married. So I have a little bride and groom, so to represent them, right? It reminds me of them, except this isn't really like them because my dad was shorter than my mom, and so it's not real. And in that picture right there, my dad looks taller because he was standing, siéntate, honey. Siéntate, lindo. Siéntate. So my dad looked taller. He was a little on the vain side, but he's a nice man. My mom was a seamstress, and my dad was a tailor. So seamstress, una costurera, un sastre. Right, that's a tailor, and so that's why my second ex-wife said to me that que yo soy un hijo de sastre. That's a disastrous son if you don't speak. So sastre is tailor, but it's a pun in words. Maybe that's why she's my ex-wife. What do you think? Is that what she makes sense? I don't know. All right, so, but I saw this and I thought, what a deal! Look at this. It's got a little Singer sewing machine. This can represent mom and dad, and I only have to buy one thing. How much money am I saving? $6.99. That was great. So now you know a little bit about my parents, right? And I'll tell you, and so what they like to eat. They taught me how to make tamales. I make tamales still. I teach my children to make tamales. Speaking of my children, one of the most beautiful moments in my life was when my daughter Maya was born. Who has a child? Who has children? Women are incredible. I mean, you know, bringing life to. So that day was one of the most beautiful days of my life. Yeah, on March 8th, 2001. But it was also one of the saddest days of my life because I thought, she's not gonna know my parents. And so I'm Mexican, and I'm the only son out of 4 kids. I'm the only son, right? And so maybe you know something about Latinos, but we're very macho. And I'm not. He said, having had 2 ex-wives. But I thought that my daughters would never get to know their grandparents. Then I thought, you know what? They can know them through all the things they taught me. And so they know how to make tamales. My daughters do. Now, do they want to make tamales? That's another question. But they know how to make tamales. Actually, one of them just really loves to make them. And they know everything about my parents. So they know my parents through all the things they taught me. That's a wonderful thing about Day of the Dead, is that these people are not dead. You know, we're still celebrating their lives, and my daughters know all about them. So my grandmother is here also. I invited my dad, my mom, my grandmother here to come. And so I have set out glasses of water for them. I have a glass for my dad, Jesus, a glass for my mom, Leonor, a glass for my abuelita, Juanita, and I have a 4th glass. But I only invited 3 people. Why do you suppose I have 4 glasses? Raise a silent hand. If you don't raise a hand, I will. Valen told you. Yes, sir.
For those you don't know that deserve to be respected.
Look at that. This man.
I guess.
No, that's a good guess. Yes, well, it's very correct. But the real answer is because Mexicans never go anywhere alone. So you know, my abuelita's gonna come. My tia Juven, the one I don't like, is gonna come with her the chicle también. So, in case Juven comes to this party, I have a glass of water for her. But did I make any special food for her? No, she gets what she gets, and she don't get upset. Yeah, kindergarten, teacher, kindergarten. You learn so much. Are you a teacher? Yeah, you get what you get, you don't get upset. Get over it. I teach my kids, get over it. I go, what? Okay. Supéralo. All right, so that's what this ofrenda is. That's what an ofrenda is. I found some plants at the HEB. I love HEB. I miss HEB. Not the marigolds, cempasúchil. Sorry, I got the gringo out of me right there. So the plants, wow. No, that's Juven. Juven! You always hit me, Juven! I get you some Postum. She was Mormon. She didn't drink coffee. She drank Postum. Pepsi, like it didn't have any caffeine in it. Juven, no, don't worry about it. Okay, so I've invited my parents here. We have everything that represents earth, wind, fire, and water. We have the 3 levels. This is the way I do it. And I've invited them. But now look at that. She said, mira.
Mucho.
She probably used the P word. Pinche vergo. All right, so I'd like to invite you to invite somebody to this party today. So how do we invite people? When my girls were small, we would go to the San Fernando Cemetery where my parents are buried, and we'd go to their tombstone and we'd sprinkle some petals, cempasúchil petals. Thank you. Cempasúchil petals. And then we'd get in the car and they'd throw a few petals every once in a while and leaving a trail all the way to our house. And when we got to our house, we'd mark this cross. But it's not a cross, it's a compass. GPS for the dead, right? That way they could find us. We have moved a lot of times. So there they are. So I'd like to invite you, if you want to invite somebody here, to this big party. And if you do invite them, I would ask you that once you get home or once you're walking around here, to get them something to eat. Because it's a long way from the other side and they're gonna be hungry, right? And maybe you're thinking, I'm not gonna spend $12 on a taco that I can't even eat. Don't be so tacaña, Maria. The truth is you can eat it, all right? But there's a little more to that than just that. But this is what we're gonna do now. If you want to invite somebody, I'm gonna stand over there with a plate of cempasúchil petals, and we're gonna leave a trail. I'll stand over there. You're gonna make a line. Are you bananas? You're not bananas, right? So I don't want to see you all in a bunch. You're gonna stand in a line. What? We're gonna use it. We're gonna use it at school. Are you a banana? Then why are you standing in bunches? Get in line, girl. One person behind the other. I know it. Come Monday, you're gonna use it.
I know, I hate that.
All right. She's a teacher too. I'm a teacher. I teach K. All right. So I'm gonna be back there. If you want to invite somebody, invite them. All you need are to have good intentions. Think of a nice memory, what they mean to you, something they brought to you. Now, Day of the Dead is special also, and sometimes I really tear up. I mean, earlier today I was joking that, oh, these are just for drama. No. I mean, when I talk about my daughter being born and my parents not being there, it really hurts me. This is just for drama now. So, it really, I mean, it's you know, so, but the wonderful thing about Day of the Dead is that I know that one day out of the year, more like a week, because you got to start cleaning your house, because I don't want my mom to find out calzones underneath the couch, because sometimes, well, my life is wild, man. So we're gonna take some petals, right, and we're going to sprinkle them down here, and when we get here, you're gonna make a cross, and then after that, you're gonna circle around and go back to your chairs, and then we just have one more closing remark, and then we'll be done. And Johnny will be so happy because he says it's taking you longer than 20 minutes this year. It's taking you 28 minutes. Yeah. All right. Actually, I started a little bit late, so it's only been 26. All right. So I'm gonna be in the back. And how are you gonna line up? In a line. Are you gonna be in bunches? No.
I just started this last year, so
Yeah?
it's my second year.
Oh, good.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
But it's a happy moment. I know it's sad, but it can be happy. Thank you for inviting people that you love over here. I know that one of the things about Day of the Dead is that I know that I can visit my parents once a year, and that day is for them. And the other 364 days are for me. And some of those days I spend washing clothes, just so you know, don't think I'm about to pay. Right? So if you want to buy later some food for the people you invited, or invite people later, on the Day of the Dead is November 2nd for adults, November 1 for children. You don't need all this stuff. Don't think, oh, I don't have all this stuff, it's so complicated. All you need is a plate of food, right? Some water, and some happy memories to share, to talk about. Like when my daughters and I get together and we have a Day of the Dead, Dia de los Muertos celebration, we talk about all the things their grandparents did to us. Some not so good. I mean, yeah, kind of funny things. Like the day that my little sister decided to put a ponytail on my dad's head when we were making tamales. Yeah, that year we had terrorism with tamales. Yeah, so we didn't do that again. All right, so I do want to say that some people believe, a lot of superstitions around Day of the Dead. So it's a celebration of life, right? But some people believe that once the spirits have come down and eaten the essence of the food, that it has no flavor. I think you might have gotten COVID. Go get tested. You just never know, right? I want to thank you for coming here today. If you have any questions, and don't want to ask him for whatever reason in public. I'm here for a few more minutes. Johnny's leaving already though. He's saying I am 2 minutes overdue, Jesus. So I'm here for a few minutes. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. If I don't know the answer, I'll make it up. You won't know the difference, right? And you'll go home happy. Is that a butterfly? Is that my mom? Or is that Hooven again? Jeff Hooven. All right. So thank you for coming. Remember, November 1st is for children, November 2nd is for adults, and I'll be here tomorrow if you want to come back. I don't know why, but I'll be here tomorrow again. Johnny will play also, right, Johnny? So thank you very much.
Okay.